Hey folks, I know it's been a while. It's been almost 2 weeks since I uploaded, and I'm sorry for that. I'm having a little bit of issues with Outlawed. It's nobody's fault but my own. I have not gotten content that I believe suffices a good video yet. I do not operate on a video schedule mindset. I operate on when a video is good and when I'm proud of it, I will upload it. I have not gotten to that state with the new Outlawed videos yet. We had a gang war plot line that was kind of ramping up and it was getting really exciting. I got some good footage from it, and then the opposing gang leader got banned for some bad activity that was against the rules. So it might be a little bit again, but in the meantime, I'm just going to do videos that I really want to, that I'm really proud of. I am a huge Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Disney nerd. I love that stuff. It is my jam. I read comics every day. I watch movies and shows every single day. I adore it. And so I thought it'd be fun because me and a friend of mine just saw Brave New World early, thanks to a job that we both have that I'm not necessarily going to disclose. But we saw Brave New World early and we got to talking about our hot takes. And I realized that it would be a pretty entertaining video to go through my hot takes with him on the phone, and we can discuss them as we go. He can tell me if he thinks they're hot takes or not, or if he agrees with them. So it's going to be a pretty informal video, not crazy editing. I know I've said that a few times, but I'm just not that great at editing yet. And it's going to be a pretty fun one. We're just going to go through it nice and calmly and have some fun discussions. Maybe it'll turn into screaming. I'm not sure. I haven't called him yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty good one. So make sure to subscribe. At 100 subscribers, I'm thinking if he's down with it, we could either do a nice long podcast episode where we just talk about and rank a bunch of superhero projects or Star Wars movies or whatever and go through that. That could be super fun. Or we could do a nice, long, well edited video about reviewing maybe like the whole MCU or all the Fox movies or whatever. Just go through superhero movies because that's my jam. So that's basically it. Remember to subscribe and let's get into it.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
Hey. All right. Are you ready to be mad?
Mad?
Yeah.
Oh
I told
God,
you
what
we're
are you
sharing hot
preparing me
takes. I'm
for?
gonna I'm gonna share some hot takes. Maybe we'll do
How
this for your
hot
channel
of a
as well. I'll
take
put
is
your
this
channel in
gonna?
the description.
How hot of a take is this gonna fucking
Some of these are scalding. I won't lie. Some of these are pretty mad.
be? You and me and the conversations we have are fucking beautiful. Dude, we love to yap, and that's what makes us such a great couple.
Yeah, I'm cutting that out. All right. So, do you want to start with a scalding take, or do you want to start a little bit cooler? I'll get there. Colder, and rank our way up.
what do what do you, what's the bullet load in the chamber right now?
Do you
What's
want me to just come out swinging?
just come out swinging? What's the
All
bullet
right,
load
I
in the
have
chamber right now?
21 takes. First one here.
Okay,
The Dark Knight trilogy is good, but wildly overrated.
Um, give me my fucking test. Dude, I have this. This is not gonna sound great. I love Dark Knight trilogy. However, I have not watched the third movie.
Third one's the worst
I,
one.
I'm a bit.
Third one is definitely the
I'm a bit
worst
of a
movie of
hip.
the three. Um, I think maybe the best. I don't know if the best is either Batman Begins or The Dark Knight. I don't know.
I
But
don't
they're
know what the
overrated.
Dark Knight
They're
Rises.
not as good as people
Oh,
say. Some people say that they're like better than Casablanca and Citizen Kane. It's not that good.
I
They're
would say
great, but some of the best MCU movies are better than the Dark Knight trilogy.
that I can agree with. That I can agree with. But I would say they're still really great movies.
I'm adding a take because I just remembered that it's a hot take. All right, we're gonna give you another scalding one, and I think this one you'll actually maybe agree with. Some of these I think you will agree with.
We usually come to some middle ground usually.
Some middle ground, yeah, yeah, yeah. You and I are good at diffusing. Some of these you might be screaming at me. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is good, but outclassed in almost every way by the Tom Holland trilogy.
Which one is that? Tom Holland? Not Tom Holland. Fucking.
Sam Raimi is Tobey Maguire. So that's Willem Dafoe's
Oh,
Green
yeah,
Goblin,
okay.
Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, those movies.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. To me that isn't a hot take.
I can't wait to get ripped apart for these.
Oh God. I mean, man, it's for me. It's mainly just a nostalgia factor, and
Okay.
it just feels like they did what they could with the technology at the time.
I have
For what they
more
did at the time, it's great.
Yeah, I have more nostalgia just for the second Civil War trailer where they showed Spider-Man for the first time and everyone freaked out. I have more nostalgia for that than the entire trilogy.
I was so fucking excited.
That I have more nostalgia for than the entire Sam Raimi trilogy. And again, it's good. It's a good trilogy. I wouldn't.
Yes.
I would give both of the first two movies probably 8 out of 10s or higher, and the third one is obviously worse, but it's still really funny. So I'd give it maybe a 6 or a 7, 6.5 maybe.
We just don't talk about the weird shit with no,
No, peak, bro, peak. Are you kidding me?
no, bro.
Comedy
That was
genius.
some weird shit.
All right,
That was some
okay.
weird shit.
We're going on to number 3. Hot take number 3. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker, and Tobey Maguire is bad at both.
Oh.
Tobey Maguire is a bad Spider-Man and a bad Peter Parker.
Almost had me. Mm.
He's bad at both. Spider-Man's supposed to be like the dork
At
as Peter
both?
Parker, and he's kind of dorky at the beginning, and it's kind of cute. He never grows out of it. He's a fucking loser as Spider-Man. He is. He's a fucking
nerd,
dweeb.
dude.
What?
Fucking nerd, dude.
Exactly. He's a fucking nerd. I don't get it. I don't get the love for Tobey Maguire outside of nostalgia. I get nostalgia, but when people genuinely try and tell me that his movies or he's the best Spider-Man, I just don't
Best
understand it.
Spider-Man? Best Spider-Man? No.
Andrew Garfield
like,
is
I wouldn't say
Spider-Man.
he
Like I
was
look at Andrew Garfield and I think,
bad.
holy shit, that's Spider-Man.
I wouldn't say he was bad.
I would. Some of his acting
What?
in those movies is really bad.
What?
Should we get on to my number 4 take? Because it's scalding. Scalding hot.
Oh, God.
I've been told this is scalding. I think you might actually agree with this one. Steve Rogers is a better and more compelling character than Tony Stark, but RDJ gives a slightly better performance than Chris Evans does, so most people think Tony Stark is better.
See, here's my stance on it. I feel like, actually, I think they're both on an even playing field for me. RDJ killed it. Killed it as Iron Man. Killed
Agreed.
it. Like, to the point where, like, they're modeling Iron Man after him.
Yeah, I love
Like,
reading like 2013,
Dagger
2014 comics with Iron Man in them because it's just RDJ on a page.
Yeah, it literally is. It's just like, he did such a phenomenal performance in that shit that it like took the character to a different level than it would already was.
Agreed. Yeah,
But,
okay.
like-
All right, number 5. Rocket Raccoon is one of the best written characters in the entire MCU, if not the number 1 best.
The best?
If he's not one of the best, he is the best. He's in the conversation.
The best.
Well, what's above him? There's an argument for Iron Man and Cap. Who else?
Yep. Well, obviously. Got to fucking jog my memory real quick. Give me 5 fucking seconds. Dude, I'm so far behind on Marvel shit.
Well,
I've
just
been
think
all
about
up
characters that are
in
more
right now.
compelling than Rocket.
Up until they absolutely butchered it, Scarlet Witch. Up until Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think Wanda was, if you would ask me right after or right before Multiverse and like right after WandaVision, I would have said Wanda is probably my number 2 favorite character in the MCU.
It's just that they fucking Multiverse.
And I'm not saying that
Madness.
Rocket is the best, like my favorite character. I'm saying best written.
Nah, bro, Hulk all day.
One of the worst characters in the MCU. Thor and Hulk.
Thor.
Those are two of the most butchered characters in the MCU. That's not a hot take that I wrote down, but I think that's pretty common. This one, I put this in here specifically for Superman. You and I are notoriously very high on
Yes.
DC.
I'm so excited.
Superman is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. But in terms of the greats, in terms of superheroes overall, one of my hot takes, Superman is the greatest superhero of all time.
Of DC or just
Of all
period?
time. Of all time. He is the blueprint. The only one where it's close is Spider-Man.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from because literally he's like one of the first superheroes that popularized the superhero comic books. But I'm also incredibly heavily biased. It feels like, yes, he's very well written, and in every story he's always like the main show in any story he's in, even if the comic book's not about him.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know what the writers do to him. Like, fucking, the writers have crack or something. They always write him in so well. You just steal. But it's like, best character of all time? Are we talking like personality wise, like writing wise?
In terms of impact, writing, gravitas, just in terms of greatness, Superman is number one of all superheroes. He is the blueprint for every superhero. We would not have Spider-Man if we did not have Superman. We would not have Captain America. We would not have... Superman is the greatest superhero of all time.
We wouldn't have the whole superhero comic books if Superman didn't succeed.
Very few characters in the MCU would exist without some element of Superman. Superman, whether it's the smallest element that is barely noticeable, Superman is the blueprint for superheroes. If we did not have him, we would not have most of what we have.
I wouldn't go as far as to say the best. I'd say he's definitely up there. Best? I wouldn't be able to tell you who's the best. I was like,
Okay, alright.
I'm-
Next up, the Batman Arkham game series is the best video game franchise of all time.
oh my god. We had a whole fucking 2-hour conversation about this before. Oh my god. We had a whole fucking...
You agree with me or not?
Absolutely not.
No.
Is it good? Yes. I will give best video game series, period? No.
In terms of writing, gameplay, voice acting, that game has the best both of the number 2 voice acting performances I've ever seen are both in that game, and that's Mark Hamill's Joker and Kevin Conroy's Batman in the Arkham franchise.
I'm not knocking it. It's a great franchise of games. I'm not knocking it at all. But like, best?
Yeah, best. What's better?
Like,
Fucking Gears of War, Left 4 Dead. What's better?
ooh, those are good.
You're not telling me Left 4
Dude,
Dead is better
Legend
than
of
the
Zelda?
Arkham game franchise.
No, but I'm saying it is Left 4 Dead is a good game.
Oh, it's great.
I'm not saying better. Like Legends of Zelda, God of Final Fantasy?
God of War,
Overall?
Final Fantasy, Legend of Zelda, none of those even touch the Arkham franchise. None of them.
What?
None of them.
No shot.
The only
You're
ones
fucking-
the only ones that come close are
Not even
the Red Dead
Fallout?
franchise. I've said it before, Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favorite game of all time. The Arkham franchise is my favorite
what?
franchise of all time in terms of games. But the Red Dead games come close. We got Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2. Those games. And then I think there's an argument for some GTA games, for sure. That's about it.
I'm talking in terms of like story building and like over Legends of Zelda, over Final Fantasy. God
Have
of
you
War,
played all
Fallout.
4 Arkham games?
I've played 3 of the 4.
Which did you not play Origins?
I did not know.
Okay, that's the one that most people skip, just because it's kind of hard to get to. Like it's kind of hard to find. It's not on Xbox, and you have to stream it for PS4. So
reason I played the other three is because my sister was big into the franchise, and so I kind of just.
That's fair. All right, I don't think we're gonna come to terms with this one, so I'll go to the next one. Avengers Endgame ruined Hulk, and Thor Ragnarok ruined Thor.
Oh my.
I had you
I
in the
know
first
we're
half,
both
not gonna lie.
I know we're both on opposite sides of this shit all the time.
Can we agree that Endgame ruined
I-
Hulk?
Yes,
Okay.
but hear me out. I feel like if they fleshed out more and maybe didn't do it in Endgame, everyone would have been perfectly okay with it.
I don't know. We needed more
Because-
scenes with them trying to reconcile because it went from their
Yes.
it went from their quarreling to we're good now and we're morphed
Yep.
together and we look like a fucking voodoo monster. The CGI putting like it was always you always could see Mark Ruffalo in Hulk's face. Like it was always you could always see the faces were similar. But now it's like you just put Mark Ruffalo's face on Hulk. It's weird.
I'm just saying they didn't do enough build up to it. There wasn't enough. It was just like, oh,
I think there was
this happened,
none.
by the way.
I don't think there was any build up.
They were just kind of like, oh, this happened, by the way.
Name me a
Yeah,
scene
but-
which references that Hulk will become Smart Hulk in Endgame. Name me one. I dare
There
you.
wasn't. It was just
Exactly.
kind of like that's what I'm saying. It was kind of just like, oh, this happened, by the way.
Yeah,
And it was like, the fuck?
yeah. And
What?
Thor Ragnarok ruined Thor.
Oh my.
Ragnarok's a bad movie.
No, it's not.
I didn't put that on here.
Ragnarok is not.
Okay,
Ragnarok
here's
is
the
a
thing.
great
It's
movie.
a good movie if it wasn't Thor. Any other character.
Who else would it be?
A character that isn't supposed to be the god of thunder. He literally throws a ball at glass, bounces back, hits him in the head, and that's like one of the
Fucking hilarious.
people say one of the best jokes in the movie. It's the god of thunder. Are you kidding me? And he's getting knocked
Yes.
down by a metal ball.
Yes.
He literally dude, fucking Grandmaster electrocutes him and that takes him out. He is the god of thunder.
He also is still learning how to control his powers without his hammer.
He seemed pretty fucking masterful in fucking Age of Ultron. Fucking team up abilities. He seemed pretty good with his abilities in the original Avengers.
Yes, with his hammer, because he had his hammer to channel his abilities through.
There are scenes where he goes hand to hand with
Hammer.
characters in Age of Ultron. There are scenes without him with his hammer. He's
That's
a
'cause he's also
warrior.
had-
There is no
He's-
way
he's
that
as warrior,
Heimdall.
he has
There's
strength.
no way that Heimdall ever didn't say, "Hey, put your hammer down for a second. We're gonna train you without your fucking weapon."
But I'm saying this is in order for him to have better control and harness his powers. Odin made Mjolnir, then gave it to Thor, who then became heavily reliant on the hammer. The whole thing of Ragnarok was, well, not the main thing, but a subplot of it was
Is the
he has to
over
learn
relied
how
on
to
his hammer?
use
Yes,
power.
you are correct. But I highly doubt that without his hammer, he becomes a fucking goofball that gets knocked down by metal balls. That's ridiculous.
He
Thor Ragnarok is a
He
character
is- it's not-
assassination of the title character. It's a character assassination.
no, it is not. It is not a character assassination.
Yes, it is. I'm not folding on this one. It's bad.
I can't believe anyone would say Thor Ragnarok is a bad movie.
I know other people that have said this.
It's still criminal. I disagree with them.
All right, whatever. All right, we'll get to one. I'm gonna try and get this uploaded maybe tomorrow. So I don't know if people are even gonna have access to this take yet. Brave New World is the worst Captain America movie.
The worst Captain America movie?
Yeah, out of the 4, it's the worst. For those listening, we did see Captain America: Brave New World early. Because of a position of employment, neither of us are going to disclose what that position of employment is or what that employment
Mama's
entails.
house.
What?
Yo, Mama's house. Oh,
You're not coming back on this channel. And but we did see the movie early, so this isn't just us, bullshitting, and we've already seen the film. So my take is Brave New World is the worst Captain America movie yet.
as right now it is like the 12th, the day of release of this shit. So we watched it
we're recording this on the 12th. We watched this on the 11th. So we watched
Yes.
this yesterday. We're talking February of 2025. Yeah, what do you think about that?
In terms of Captain America movies, they were all, I mean, the worst of the four, yeah.
Okay, we agree. Let's move on to one that I think you actually will still agree with. No Way Home, because of its first act, is not a rewatchable movie. That movie does not hold up on rewatch.
No Way Home in a minute.
Think about all the segments before you get to the villains and Doctor Strange, and it's
No Way
just
Home was the most recent one, right?
yeah, it's basically a teen comedy until you get to the apartment.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like the movie. Hot take. Spider-Man No Way Home was.
You don't like No Way Home? Okay, we'll talk about this off camera. That's crazy.
I didn't like the movie.
Wow. All right.
It
Maybe
just-
we'll
it
discuss
just-
that
it
on your
felt like
channel.
a-
We'll do a hot take one maybe for your channel. We'll see.
It felt like a fucking massacre of characters and character development.
Wow. All right. Damn, that might be hotter than all my hot takes. All right. Next up, Wonder Woman has been one of the most sidelined characters in comic book films.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Fucking dude, the first Wonder Woman movie was great. I loved it. It was good. They fumbled the back one, but the first one was great, and I loved it. I was like, wasn't expecting much from a DC movie, and I was like, it's probably gonna be like mediocre at best. And I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we'll move right on. The Marvels. You and I have talked about the
Oh,
Marvels
no.
extensively.
Oh no,
The Marvels.
I think this is going.
Is a really fun, bad movie, and it is wildly overhated. Think about the phrasing there. It's bad, but it's really fun,
Bad.
and it's overhated.
I would say we had fun because we fucked around while the movie was going on.
I had already seen the
Like-
film. For context, me and my friend here, I watched the film, and then we had a private screening for the film. So I was seeing it the second time, and then he and a bunch of friends of mine were seeing it for the first time. And I already knew the quality going into it. Obviously, if you've seen the Marvels, it's not that high quality of a production.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. Some of the fight scenes in that movie are just really entertaining.
Yeah, it's just in terms of like the characters, I don't
Terrible.
know.
Terrible.
It didn't mesh well. Like there was three different.
That's why I'm saying it's a
completely
fun,
separate-
bad movie. There are some good jokes in there. There's some really good choreography. Editing's a little rough, but overall, like it's a bad movie. It's not a good movie,
It was
but it's
the
fun. That's my argument.
clash of personalities. I didn't really enjoy the movie.
Okay. I'm
I
aware
also
that
don't
I'm
like
aware
Will
I'm
as an
in the
actor.
minority in that one. I'm also in the minority in the next one. She-Hulk is good.
Oh my god! For fuck's sakes,
People
we're
went
not
into
about to.
Here's the thing, is I'm sharing all my hot takes. I've not shared any of my normal takes. A lot of the things, like if I talked normally without sharing my hot takes, people would be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. People are going to listen to this and be like, this guy's seen 3 movies. I've seen every comic book movie that you can think of. I have read
I'm
so many
alright.
comics. If you look at She-Hulk as a lawyer comedy, it's fun as fuck. It's the same argument as the Marvels, it's just not as bad. But it's got some of the worst aspects of the MCU, and people focus on that instead of focusing on the whole.
It was just a slaughter of a character.
God, you're insane. All right, we'll move on.
It was a slaughter of a character.
Zack Snyder ruined DC media for a long time.
I'll be so perfectly honest. I have not followed up with that Zack Snyder stuff since the first happened. All that Zack Snyder drama. I haven't followed up with
Well,
it.
it's not even that. It's just he character assassinated Superman and Batman and
Yeah, it's just
Flash.
it didn't.
Not as
Oh
bad
my
as
god, we don't talk about Flash.
Not as badly on Flash, but
We don't talk about. That was mainly Ezra Miller.
yeah.
God, it was such a. You want to talk about butchering of a character? You want to talk about butchering of a character? You go see the Flash.
Yeah.
God.
Well, it's pretty true to the character. It's just circumstances around it were abysmal, and the CGI is some of the worst ever put to screen
Oh
for
my
a big budget film.
God, like they put in all that CGI into that fucking one opening scene, and that was it.
Oh, I don't think that looks good with the baby. I don't. No,
None of it looked good.
no, I don't think any of it looks good. All right. Well, we're on the DC train for now. Let's keep going. The only good DC EU movie is The Suicide Squad.
What? Only?
The Suicide Squad. Yes, only. Every other
The
movie
only
is okay, fine, terrible, bad, mid. Any of those. The only one that I would say good and above, and I would consider The Suicide Squad great, is I think that's the only good one for the DCEU. Now I know it's partially in the DCU, kind of, but in terms of it was produced under DCEU, it is more DCEU than not. The only good DCEU movie is The Suicide Squad.
What?
Yep.
Not even the Wonder Woman movie, the Batman.
Wonder Woman's mid. The Batman
Batman.
is not DCEU.
What?
The Batman is not DCEU. That's
He's not
Elseworlds.
DC. The main line, the main storyline. I still think the first Aquaman was actually a really good movie.
First
Maybe
Aquaman is
not like-
probably the closest, like the next closest one.
Maybe not a super good movie, but in terms of like, I thought it stood on its own 2 feet. I thought it was good. It was I couldn't get behind the Suicide Squad. It just
A lot of people
I
can't.
don't know.
I remember seeing it with my sister, and she very much didn't like it. So, we'll move right along. This is a movie I've seen a lot of love for. I wanted to remind people that it's bad and kind of take it down a peg.
No.
Ant-Man is a bland and boring movie.
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man is not good.
the first one.
All three of them, but particularly, we're talking particularly Ant-Man because I've seen a lot of love for this movie and it's not that great. I will say it's a decent origin story, but people are putting it. I've seen in the past few weeks, I've seen multiple different people put it in their top 10 MCU movies.
Yeah, I want to go that.
Okay,
far,
all right,
but
so we agree.
still-
It's bland. And it's
Good.
boring.
It's still bland. No, it's not bland or boring. I thought it was still a really good movie. Like fucking.
What's good about it?
What do you mean? What's good about it? It's
The effects,
It's fun.
the action. I'll give you that. The comedy,
It-
acting is pretty good.
the comedy was fucking great.
It's a funny movie.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
It was a well-rounded, solid movie. Maybe not top 10 of all time, of like all MCU movies, but like it was still a pretty good movie.
All right. Okay. We have got 6 more. I'll start with something that pertains to the number 6. Out of the original 6 Avengers, before Avengers Endgame, Black Widow was the worst of the original cast in terms of character.
Worst as in
If we're talking about the original 6, before Endgame, Hawkeye, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man are better characters than Black Widow. People say
Talking about
Hawkeye
writing?
is the worst, and then Endgame makes him good. I think before Endgame, Black Widow was the worst.
Are we talking about in terms of writing, like script writing?
Yes.
Because I feel like Age of Ultron definitely helped Hawkeye with writing. Like gave him so much more.
Age of Ultron
him.
single-handedly saved Hawkeye's character.
Did so much just.
Yeah.
The entire MCU, I feel like fucking Black Widow's been benched, sidelined the whole MCU.
Agreed.
And it just kind of sucks because, like, there's so much more to Black Widow than what they've shown.
Yeah.
There's so much. The character is so great, and I just feel like they didn't do Black Widow justice, which
Agreed.
sucks.
All right. Now we're going to in a fight. So this is talking about strength, combat ability, that kind of stuff. In a fight, Darkseid destroys Thanos.
There's an argument about that. Darkseid?
He's stronger for sure.
Yeah.
But the
no
big
doubt.
the big argument is combat ability. Darkseid has generations, not of actual, but like he's got generations of combat ability on Thanos.
Darkseid was literally fucking by himself, single-handedly, without even being physically injured, killed the entire Justice League
Yep.
without even a scratch on him.
Yeah. Some of Darkseid's feats. Thanos has incredible feats as well. He killed half of the universe.
And there's also one What If comic where he entire universe.
Yeah, exactly. He's got crazy feats, but in terms of combat ability, Darkseid destroys him.
Oh my god, hands down. No,
4 more. I'm gonna go to one that I think you'll agree with. We've had this conversation before, and I think the audience might be mad. DC is better than Marvel.
yes,
Okay,
I
good.
love DC so much.
DC has better stories, better written characters. It is incredibly close. It's a very close debate.
Are we clarifying all of DC? Are we including movies?
The
in that
overall
too, or just
brand.
comics?
The overall brand. If we're talking about movies, Marvel sweeps.
Yeah, comic books. I think hands down easy. DC.
My dog is somehow
I'm
figuring
probably
out how to
biased
make
there.
a lot of noise right now, and it's going to disrupt the recording for sure. But I don't really care because she's adorable. 3 more. In the entire MCU, one movie is above them all. You have the same thoughts. There's a movie that you like more than every other Marvel or MCU movie. You have a favorite, yes?
Say so.
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is the best Marvel movie in the MCU.
I wouldn't say that's a hot take.
You
It
don't
was
think so?
a really good movie.
I've had a lot of people
I
shit
don't
on
think
that
it's a
take.
hot take. Really? I thought the movie was great. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't consider it my favorite, but it's definitely up there. It was
Remind
really
me of yours. I think I know it. You've said Infinity War to me before.
I rewatched that movie so much. I the movie for myself. I've rewatched. Personally, I'd have to say it's between like fuck.
Brave New World.
I'd probably say it was yeah, no, my favorite's actually Captain Marvel. No.
Well, I know that's your least favorite. Out of every Marvel project, I know
yeah.
Captain Marvel's your least.
Oh my god, we don't. Oh my god.
We don't talk about Captain
It's Civil War, Black Panther, and maybe Captain America: First Avenger.
Hey,
Like those are the,
I'm not mad at those. First Avenger is way overrated.
like I can see the argument of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I see the argument. It's a really good movie,
Okay.
really well written, and did so many characters justice in that movie. I love it.
All right. 2 more. I'm gonna leave off with another greatest of all time. That's gonna be the last one. So, second to last, Homecoming is probably the best Spider-Man movie of all time. These are both of all time questions. Homecoming is the best. That's with Vulture and Iron Man.
I personally loved it because it was the first time in a long time we have seen your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I was like, man, this feels like the Spider-Man I've read in comics. The Spider-Man that I grew up knowing, not fighting a fucking purple alien. Like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's just like it was the first time we've seen it in such a long time, and I feel like it was done so well.
All right. Okay, last one. We're wrapping up with a DC question. Although it is a close debate, the greatest villain of all time is the Joker.
Like of all comic books,
Of all villains. Better than Darth Vader.
Oh,
Better than Thanos.
I see the argument. I see the argument. But like when you say like Darth Vader, like,
It's
they
incredibly
did fuck
close,
with it.
and I go back and forth on it every day. But I think
It's
the majority of the time, I'm thinking Joker is the greatest villain of all time.
see that's such a big question. I couldn't really choose one. No, it's got to be the leader from Captain America: Brave New World.
Don't
Such
get me started.
immersive dialogue.
That
Such
actually
immersive
might be
dialogue.
I know we're not going to discuss spoilers. However, Captain America Brave New World might actually have the worst MCU villain, and I don't say that lightly after watching the Marvels. Might be the worst
There was
one.
no change in tone the whole movie. He's
He's a
the whole
fucking
time.
nerd.
He had no like.
He's
change
like
in
Tobey
tone.
Maguire, Peter Parker. He's a fucking dweeb.
He had no change in voice, no memorable lines.
He's
Like,
just a smart guy who's a different color. He's literally, he's
I
a
feel like
shit version of fucking Megamind. He's just bad Megamind. Big-headed fucking other color motherfucker.
I just feel like it was just. I was waiting for like, oh, who's the actual villain in the whole movie? That's how he had me going.
I was expecting.
Who's the
No,
actual
we're not
bad
gonna.
guy?
Hang on, wait. We're dipping into spoiler territory.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I just
Yeah.
watching the whole movie. I was waiting for like, who's the actual bad guy?
I was like, where's the plot gonna begin? And then like 2 hours in, and the credits started rolling, and I
The
go,
movie-
hold
I was
on a
like,
minute. Now we got to the post-credit scene, which we're not going to discuss, obviously, but it's all over the internet right now because it's so bad.
Oh my god.
That is probably the worst post-credit scene in the entire. That is. I'll say it.
I'll
with
say that I'm
confidence.
so disappointed.
I can't believe you think it's a 7 out of 10.
I say that because it was I have changed a little bit. I have dropped it down to about a 6.
Okay, all right. I was at a 6 when I walked out. I've moved it down to a 5. So
It's just like it was exactly what I was expecting out of a Captain America movie. The fight
Okay.
scenes were great. They usually are, and it was more of a spoiler, but it was in some aspects.
no,
a social
no
commentary.
spoilers, no spoilers.
Well, I'm just saying, it was exactly what you expect for a Captain America movie, and it met expectations. It didn't exceed them though.
I didn't really expect it to exceed. I was so excited, and then the day that we were going into it, my expectations dropped, which is really weird. But I don't know.
I thought
Alright.
it was good. I didn't think it was amazing.
I thought it was fine. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up. What do you think of my takes?
Some of them just get my blood boiling sometimes, bro.
What's the one that you think is the craziest?
She-Hulk the best? No, bro. She-Hulk
I
is
didn't
not
say
good.
that. I said She-Hulk is good.
She-Hulk is not good.
Alright, okay. Well, the Marvels is
Oh,
a fun
God.
time.
I had fun with the movie because what we did. No, it was fun. We made it
She-Hulk
fun.
is probably better than the Marvels.
You know what's my favorite movie of all time?
What?
Madam Web.
Oh boy.
Gotta
All
be.
right. Thanks for coming on the show. Seriously, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna link your YouTube channel in the description of this video. Be ready to be attacked for our takes, because some of these are real controversial, and you agreed with some of them. So be prepared. You wanna shout it out? Tell people what you're doing now.
Oh, working. I do Overwatch a lot. I do mainly variety gaming, but mainly the main topic is Overwatch. However, I do plan to dive into some more Phasmophobia at some point, if you're ever interested.
And I
Just
might
come
be on
on
that
over.
channel, so
Unfortunately, I mean,
I probably won't be on that channel.
not anymore.
Nah, I'm changing. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some gaming stuff. I'm gonna see if he wants to. I keep forgetting. Do you have a VR headset or no?
No, I would love one. I should buy one at some point.
I have a spare. So
You have a spare? What?
Yeah, I upgraded from a Quest 2 to a Quest 3S, and I
Oh,
haven't done
that's
anything with
right.
it too.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe we'll try and get you on some VR games.
You know, it'd be interesting.
What's that?
Gaming hot takes, because I
Hey man,
fucking
if the
hate.
audience likes this, maybe we'll do. You and I talked about a podcast. Maybe we'll do some
I have
episodes of a
so
podcast.
many hot takes about
We
when it
could
comes
go
to
for a
video games.
while on because you
Oh
and I are
my
both
god, we.
Marvel, DC, Star Wars. We're all fans of that stuff. We're both fans of gaming, so
You're just more of an expert on Marvel than I am.
I'm an expert on both of it more than you are.
I mean, hey.
You've read more Green Lantern than I have. I'll give you that.
Because Green Lantern's the fucking goat.
Depends on the Green Lantern. I only read Guy Gardner. Okay, so like you said, I'm gonna link his Twitch in the description. Sometimes he hops on there. Mr. CloudSpark06 or Cloud06 on YouTube. I'm gonna link them both in the description. Please go check it out. Leave him a sub. That's what we're gonna foster this community for: is building people up, raising them to as high as we can get them. But yeah, we're just gonna keep it going. If people like this, leave a comment. This isn't one of the times where we're like, leave a comment, and then people just leave me a comment. I'd love to know if you like this. Just keep it going. Any final thoughts?
um, Final thoughts.
I'm gonna leave that in the video. What you just texted me, I'm gonna leave that in. Hey, your takes are mid.
I was leaving. I was leaving a comment, man. You said leave a comment. This is on.
All right,
God, dude,
whatever.
we could go for hours. Holy Christ.
We could. Hey, maybe a podcast. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna take it to my outro.
All right, and we are back. Big thanks to Cloud06 or CloudSpark06 on Twitch for hopping in here. Not only is he a close friend in real life, but he's also a close friend on the internet. We play games every day. He's a really great guy, so make sure to go check him out. Again, all of his stuff is going to be linked in the description. Big thanks to having him on. I might appear on his channel. He might appear again on mine. Please give him a sub. Let's show that this community is a great spot to be. Just head over there, sub to him, maybe watch a few videos. He's a great guy, and he's got some great content out there. Again, subscribe. It really helps me out, and we've got really, really fun more stuff on the way. There's another Outlawed video on the way, and there's some other superhero-related projects and movie projects all on the way as well. So one last time, go check out Cloud06. All of his stuff is in the description, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one.